to my YouTube channel. I'm Christina Pretty, the Seamless Knitter, and this is the Seamless Knitting Podcast, Episode 7. Today is Sunday, April the 28th here in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. You can find me and all of my seamless knitting patterns and crocheting patterns on Ravelry. And you can also find me on Facebook, my website, and Instagram. Everything I talk about today will be linked in the show notes below, as well as my email address and my mailing address in case you'd like to get in touch with me. Okay, so today's topic is going to be about my birthday month, Mother's Day gift ideas, and a local fiber festival that I went to. So before we start, I would like you to pour yourself a beverage of choice and grab your knitting and let's SSK for a bit. I'm drinking some green tea today, and it's pretty nice here right now. At least it was this morning. It was the first nice day that was like over 20 degrees Celsius, but it's looking pretty cloudy and gray right now, like it's going to rain. So anyways, good day for podcasting. So we'll get started. Okay, so let's start with what I'm wearing. And I have showed this before, maybe on the mannequin, but this is the first time I'm wearing it. And this is my Speckles and Stripes tee that I designed, and the pattern is on Ravelry, but I will put a picture here of the actual finished garment that was published and put on Ravelry using the Cotton Supreme Waves yarn. And I talked about it extensively on episode 5. If you would like to go back to that episode and watch it, it showed the t-shirt that I was wearing. It also showed the children's versions, sizes, and all the color combinations that the Cotton Supreme Wave comes in. I put a lot of work and effort into that podcast, and I think it's a pretty good one for you to watch. So go back and check that one out. But anyways, this one here that I'm wearing is the same t-shirt, but I just used a substitute yarn for it that I picked up at either Joann's or Hobby Lobby in the US when I was visiting there. And the contrasting color that I used was the Cotton Supreme DK, which is the solid colors that go with the Cotton Supreme Waves. So all in all, it's the same one, just different yarn for it. And yeah, so check that one out. If you have any questions, you can just leave them in the comments below about that top. And yeah, so let's go into the works in progress next. I'm going to show you a couple things that I'm designing and working on, and they're probably going to be published in the fall, just because they're more winter items, not summer items. So the first one I'll show you is my, this one's going to be called the Raglan, it's going to be called the Rainbow Raglan. And, oh shoot, I forgot to get the label. Anyways, I'm not going to go into it in a whole lot of detail right now. I'll go over it, but I will talk more about it later when it's finished. So it's going to be a new pattern design, and I'll just show it to you here. Make sure I got the right side. I wanted to put it on my mannequin, but it wouldn't fit into the photo here today, so I'm just going to have to hold it up. So anyways, this is a new pattern design that I'm working on, and it is a seamless pattern, and it is worked from the top down. So it's a top-down construction, from here to the bottom, and you start casting on at the neckline, but not the collar. You're just casting on stitches to start, and you're going to get right into the German short rows. So there's German short rows all around to raise the back of the neck up so it fits better. And then you're going to be doing a nice raglan seam here using the make one right and make one left increases here. So then the body is just work straight, and I'm not finished it yet. As you can see, it's still on the needles, and I need to do more in length before I add the ribbing on the hem, which is going to be a 2x2 hem. And then when you pick up for the sleeves, as you can see here, I've got stitch markers in my sleeve because that is showing all the decreases that I'm doing for the shaping. So they are shaped sleeves, and mine are not finished yet. So you can see the shaping going on there. And I've started to do the cuffs, but I've shoved the ball of yarn up inside the cuffs while I'm working on the sweater. I don't like to finish the cuffs until I have the body of the sweater done and I've tried it on, so that I make sure I get the right length in the body and in the arms before I do any casting off, because I like to make sure they fit well and I'm going to be happy with it. So the cuffs are a 2x2 rib as well. So that's the one sleeve. This sleeve is done as well. Now what I do when I'm working on a sweater is I work this sleeve first and put all the markers in the sleeve as I was decreasing, so that when I'm doing the second sleeve and I start the decreasing, I take one stitch marker from this sleeve and put it over on the other sleeve, so I get the same count of rows, rounds I should say, and decreases to match. And so that's why all the markers are now on this sleeve, because I finished this one. So those are the sleeves and the body. I'll just set that aside for a moment. I'm just going to take a sip of my tea for a minute. Okay, so I don't have the label in front of me right now, and I'm not going to stop the camera to go and get it, but I do have it here in my notes, so I'll just read you what the yarn is. So basically, I started this sweater because I really like the Lebby and Amay Corey worsted, I think it's called Confetti yarn. It's a nice gray tweed yarn, and I saw it and I thought that was really nice yarn, and I wanted to get something like it and in a more budget-friendly yarn for those that would like a budget-friendly yarn. So I found a yarn that looks pretty much the same as that yarn as far as the looks go. It's gray with the Tweedy bits on it, and I'll just show you that yarn here. Now I've wrapped this up. It did come in a ball, and then I wound it up on my ball winder to work from it. I like to do that to find out if there's any knots in the ball or you know, any damage or breakage, so that I can strategically use my yarns the way I'd like. So I always wind them up, and then I have the center pull ball, which makes it easier for knitting from. So this here is the yarn, and you can see all the different colors of Tweedy bits on there. And if I look at it here, I can see orange and yellow and blue and red, pink and green. So it is a real rainbow of colors, and that's why I call it the rainbow raglan. And this here is a worsted weight yarn as well. So it is a Lion brand product, and it's called Heartland, and it's 94% acrylic and 6% rayon. There's 113 grams in this ball. There's 200 yards and 183 meters. So it goes a long way. I purchased 6 balls at the time when I bought the yarn, knowing that what I was going to do with it. And I am working from this one right now, which will carry me through to the bottom of the sweater and possibly the hem as well. So I still have a partial, another full ball of this minus the amount that I used to put the collar on. So this collar is picked up on the neckline and knit up in a 2x2 rib as well to match the cuffs and hem. So it's a crew neck collar. And so when I started doing this, I started with a brand new ball and started the cast on and worked down and, ran out of yarn and started my second ball. And then I use one complete ball for the sleeve, another complete ball for the sleeve, and I'm still working from this one to do the bottom of the sweater and the hem. And from the sleeves, I still have this much yarn from each sleeve. So 2 of these, I'm still working from this, and I still have a full one left. So it's hardly using. I think I'm going to, when I'm done, of course, I'll weigh it and I'll know exactly how much yarn it took. You can weigh your sweater, or you can weigh the leftovers to find out exactly how many grams that you used. And that will help out with figuring out the yardage as well. So for my size, I can usually get away between 400 to 600 grams for doing any sweater for myself. And I'm a small to medium size. Anyways, I used a 5mm needle on the body. So I used a 5mm to do the body and the sleeves. And I used a 4.5mm needle to do the collar, the cuffs, and the hem. So just wanted to say that the balls of yarn, the Heartland yarn, is about $8 a ball here in Canada. And so I bought 6 of them. So there's $48 for 6 balls of yarn. That's not including tax. Okay, so when I looked up the Lebby and May Corey worsted confetti yarn, they were $44 for 100 grams. The Heartland balls are 113 grams. So I figured out if I bought 6 100-gram balls of the other, it would be $308 for just the yarn. And that is not including tax or shipping and handling. So there is a big price difference when it comes to this sweater. Yes, this sweater is acrylic and the other one is pure wool. But if you're just going for the look, you can get away with the lesser expensive yarns, or depending on your budget, of course. I know there would be a difference in feel of the yarn and knitting with the yarn and all of that. This sweater can be, machine washable and dryable, whereas the other one would be a hand wash only. So it entirely depends on you and what you want and your budget, but I just wanted to do this one to show the comparison between the yarns. And I'm going to put a picture up here of the Levian yarn that I'm talking about. Plus, there's another one called Hedgehog Fibers that's similar as well. So between those two, they're about the same price. Hedgehog Fibers and Levian Corey Worsted Confetti. So those are on the higher end of yarns compared to the lower end of yarns. And there's other ones in between, but I'm just going on the fact that this is the Tweedy yarn that I found similar that could be in comparison. So, so that is going to be, I'll get that finished and I'll get the pattern written up and then we'll test knit it, and then that pattern should be able to come out in the fall. There's no point in me putting it out now with summer here, and it hasn't started. We're still in spring, but it's here. It's coming upon us very quickly now. As of today, I can sense that the feeling of the air and the change and the warmth, it's coming quickly. So anyways, we'll do that in the fall. So the other thing I want to talk about is another work I have in progress and a new design is my tweed socks. Now this yarn here I picked out to go with this sweater, and it matches pretty good as well. And this is the Regia Tweed 6-ply. So this is the DK weight yarn. So there's the label of the yarn that I used for these socks. And it is a DK weight version because I think I'm going to stick to DK weight sock knitting from now on. I just find the fingering weight, sock weight yarns are just too time consuming. Working on a 2.25 or 2.5 needles compared to the DK weight. The DK weight I'm working on at 3.5, and it is going faster, and the socks are still thin enough to wear in your shoes. So I think it only makes sense to start using the DK weight yarn. So this is a picture, sorry, not a picture. This is the yarn that I'm using. It's wrapped up into a cake, as you can see. And you can see all the Tweedy bits on it as well. And if I hold up the yarn from the Heartland yarn to this yarn, you can see that they're pretty much the same as far as looks go that can go together. This one is worsted weight, of course, and this is DK weight. This is a superwash wool, and this is an acrylic yarn. And the tweed bits on the sock yarn are more just reds and blues, not all the rainbow colors. There is some rust. So rust, red, blue, that's about it as far as I can see. Light blue, dark blue, and rust. So I'm going to show you the socks here now, what they look like. And this is how much I've got finished. So this is my cuff, and this is the front of the sock. It's got a nice pattern to it. And this is the back of the sock. So when I get these finished, I will try them on and show them to you on when I'm finished. I don't know whether it'll be the next podcast or when it will be, but these socks will be coming out in different sizes to fit everyone. So the yarn, the Regia sock yarn that I'm using, is a 150 gram ball, and there are, let me see here, it's a 70%, sorry, let me see here, 70% wool and 25% polyamide and 5% viscose. It's all written in German. Let me see. Yeah. So it's 150 grams, 375 meters, and 410 yards. So what I did is I took the ball of yarn and I took my ball winder and my weigh scale, and I wound up half of the yarn and weighed the yarn and the ball of yarn to make sure they were equal amounts in each, and then I just cut the yarn and wound each one up. So I had 2 of these cakes, and this is how much I still have left from the one I'm knitting, and I've got this much done already. So it goes a long way. I don't even know if I'm going to use all of this into the sock. They might make knee socks, knee-high socks. But I will go as long as I want them to, and if there's any leftovers, I can maybe make a little baby pair or a child-sized pair from this leftovers. So now I just heard that Regia is having their 75th birthday for selling sock yarn. So that's a really long time to be in business selling sock yarns. In fact, the date on this here label says 1949. They've been going since 1949, so they're celebrating 75 years in business, and their main seller is sock yarn. So it doesn't surprise me. Regia is a good sock yarn, and nice to knit with, and washes up well and lasts a long time. So now I just wanted to show you these needles that I'm working with. I was sent from, I think it's Knit Collage, I believe. I didn't bring the package in. Yeah, I don't have the package right now. But anyways, they sent me some needles to try, and I had them sitting here, and I thought I'm going to have to use them for a project. And when I was using the 3.5s on the socks, I thought these would be the perfect pair to try out on this project. So these are actually square needles. So if I hold my hand up, hopefully you can see that they are square and see the points on them. The other thing about these needles, the cords and the needles swivel. So I can actually turn these needles around and around and around where the join is here. Now, I've been working this whole, I started the sock on my Addy Click interchangeable needles, and then remembered I had these needles and switched over. I still like my Addy Click interchangeable needles the best. They are smoother, slicker, faster, and easier to knit. I find these square needles different. I feel like whatever material they're made out of, I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up and mention it next time. It just, the look of them and the feel of them, it feels like I'm knitting with lead out of a pencil. I don't know. It's just really different. But I will finish this project, finish these socks using these needles. because my other needles are all in use, so don't have much choice at the moment. So I will continue on with this and let you know more after I've tried them a little bit longer, what I think of them. But right now I feel I still prefer my Addy Clicks over these. So maybe if I was working on a different project and maybe in stocking stitch more than I am changing stitches all the time, it might work a little bit faster, but I find, well, socks are slow anyway. And when you're working in a smaller circumference, I find that slows me down as well. And I am using the magic loop technique, so I find that's the best for me. 9-inch circulars or even 11-inch circulars are just too small to work with. And I've gotten away from the double pointed needles, so I prefer magic loop, and I'm using that when I knit my sleeves on my sweater as well. I find I prefer that. So anyway, so there's the socks. Okay, so I'll just take a sip of my tea. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is some Mother's Day gift ideas. And these are patterns that I have designed in the past. I can pretty much tell you on the pattern when I published it what year, how long these patterns have been out. But these are great gift ideas for Mother's Day coming up. It's the end of April. Mother's Day is coming up pretty quickly. It's usually the first or second week in May. I haven't looked at the date to see when it is, but we don't have much time left if you're planning to make something for your mom or a friend or someone who has been close to you that you consider like a mother to you, or even a grandmother. These are great gift ideas and they're practical and useful. So I'm just going to start off with the first one. Now this pattern that I'm going to talk about has been one of my top sellers since I've been designing and publishing patterns on Ravelry, and that is my towel topper pattern. And I have it in a knit version and a crocheted version. So let me just show you the patterns here. And then I'm going to be popping up some pictures here too that might show it a bit clearer than it would showing you in person or through these patterns. I'll just pop some pictures up maybe as well. Unless I feel when I look back and edit this video, it doesn't need it, then I won't bother. So it depends. So anyways, let me show you. So this is the towel topper pattern, and it was published in 2017, and this is the knit version. Okay, so that's the knit version pattern, and I also published the crocheting one in at the same time. So this is the crochet pattern. Okay, so let me just put those out of the way, and now I'll show you the towels. I couldn't find the knit version towels in my box, so I've just got the crocheted one here to show you right now, but I will pop pictures up of it because I would like you to see that one as well. So here is the crocheted version, so I'll just hold it there like that, and that it has a little tab that you can put over your stove with a button, and it folds on itself nicely. So there it is. So you can see. And then if I open it up, you can get an idea of how wide it is and across the top. Okay, so it just folds in like that and hangs on the stove really nicely. So that's the crocheted ones. And I have different colors of them here, and I'll just hold up the different colors that I have done them in. So there's the browns and the blues, and here's the gray, and that one was the green. So there they are. Nice set of towels. Okay, so I'm just gonna talk a minute about those towels. So I used, for those towels there, I used, you can use the Handicrafter cotton, you can use the Lily Sugar and Cream cotton, any dishcloth cotton at all. Clean cotton, that's one I carry as well, for the cotton part here. So there's that. I used a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook for the crocheting part, and a 2 millimeter steel crochet hook for picking up the stitches, and a 25 millimeter button, and what else? Oh yes. Now some people will make these kind of towels, and they will take a towel and they will cut it in half. So say the towel has a print on both ends, they'll cut it in half, and then they'll have to serge the edges or sew them somehow so they won't fray. I didn't use one of those kind of towels to do these. I used a washcloth. So these are a 12 by 12 inch terry washcloth, and I bought really good quality ones, you know, in a bath, like say HomeSense or somewhere like that, Bath and Beyond, or a nice store that sells washcloths. So these are 12 inches by 12 inches across, and they're very thick towels, 100% cotton. I believe they are 100% cotton washcloths, so that the edges on the washcloth are all finished like this. You have this nice finished edge across the top. So what I did is I used the steel crochet hook because it's got a very sharp point on it, and I just pick up all my stitches across here according to the pattern. So pick up all your stitches, and then you're just going to start after that using the 4.5 millimeter crochet hook and your cotton to do the rest. So easy, so quick, makes a really nice gift. So that's how that is done. And the knitted ones are done the same way. So again, using a 4.5 millimeter knitting needle, 2 millimeter steel crochet hook, and everything's exactly the same, only the top part of these are knitted. So this is the pattern, and these are the knitted ones. And I really like them. And these I'll put a picture up there, and you can see the different pattern I got for these in washcloths, and the different patterning that's on the top part, the towel topper. So again, great gift ideas. So that's the towels. The next one that I'm going to show you is my Brown Betty teacup cozy. So let me get that. So here's a picture of the pattern. This was published in 2010, so that was a long time ago. Now this pattern, you get 4 different sizes. There's extra small, small, medium, and large. And these are to fit, I call them the Brown Betty teapots. And I've collected several of them over the years, from the 1 cup, 4 cup, 6 cup, and 8 cup teapots. And that's what this pattern has the different sizes for. But you can get any teapot that is similar in size and make one of these and it will fit. So I'll just show it to you first, then we'll talk about it. So this here is the teapot, and you can see how it fits around the handle part at the back and how it fits around the spout and the little I-cord topper on it. And you can see that there is a the ribbing at the bottom. I'm not going to go into the details of every one of these, how like every little detail, but there's ribbing down here, and there is a textured pattern on the body of the teapot, and then there's the top part. Okay, so I used for this one just a 50-gram ball of Shetland chunky yarn, and it was a solid color, but you can use any chunky weight yarn for these. So 1 50-gram ball, and it was a 75% acrylic, 25% wool, and there was 82 yards in the ball. So 82 yards of chunky weight wool will make one of these teapots. And this one here would be the, I would say the 4 cup teapot. I used a 5.5 millimeter double pointed needles on this project, and yeah. So again, this is a really cute Mother's Day gift if she's a tea drinker, which I am. I love tea and of all kinds. So I really appreciate these. They work really well, especially to keep your tea a little hotter. And of course we're knitters, so we got to cover everything, right? So this is all done in one piece. All my patterns are. So I started from the bottom and worked up. So it started off in the round, and then it was split for the handle and the spout, and then it worked back in the round again. So when you take this off the teapot, I'll just show you what it looks like. So there you go. So it fits. Like there's what it looks like folded in half. And then you have your top. And then of course you have the different sizes. Depending on what size teapot that you have that you would like to put a cover on. And then you just put it back on, and there you go. Okay, so that's the teapot. And now what I thought would go nicely with that for the tea drinker in your life is a tea wallet. So let me see where that pattern is. Here it is. I published this pattern in 2018. So there's a little picture of it there. And I'll post some pictures of it. So this is what it looks like. So you have this little wallet to put all your tea pouches in. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like there on the back and the bottom, and what the inside looks like. So it has a little button, and you're going to open it, and inside I have 6 pouches of tea. So they're just the ones that have the tea bag in the pouch. So I have 6 in here, but it could fit more than 6 because there's still room for more. So you have that little opening there for them to go in, and then you just close it back up. These are great for putting into your purse when you're traveling or going places, going to visit a friend, and maybe they don't drink tea and you would like a cup of tea when you're there. You can bring your own, and maybe they don't have the flavors you like, so you can bring your own stash of tea and take it wherever you go. So now this here is small, and it doesn't take very long to make, and I just made these out of cotton. Now the pattern calls for a 4.5 double pointed needles and a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, because I started with a provisional cast on when I did these. So 15 grams of any worsted weight yarn. Doesn't have to be cotton, it can be worsted weight acrylic or any leftovers of yarn that you might have. So 15 grams, 4.5 double point needles, 4.5 crochet hook, 1 button, and I used a 20 millimeter button on there, and some waste yarn to do the provisional cast on, and that's it. These work out to be 3¼ inches by 3¼ inches. So great little gift. And I just did a few of these up, and you can do them in all different colors and just use up your scraps. It's a fun project to do and very easy and quick. So here's the tea wallet. And all these patterns again are on Ravelry. The next one is a mug rug. Now this one is a free pattern on my Ravelry page, and I did this one in 2023. Here's a picture of the pattern. It's called the mug rug, and I just used 1 ball of clean cotton. It was a multi number 4 worsted weight yarn, a 55 gram ball, 85% recycled cotton, 15% recycled polyester. It had 88 meters, 96 yards in the color Blue Star, or any worsted weight yarn that will give you the gauge and yardage. It takes 50 grams to make this set of 5, 10 grams for each one, or 19 yards each to complete the set of 5 coasters, a 4.5 millimeter needle. So this is another nice set to give somebody. The way it's done, the edges are all finished on the sides of the coasters. They're great to put on your coffee table if you have some really nice furniture that you don't want to get marked up, or a white ring from your hot tea or coffee. This is a great little gift to make. So anyways, that's what they look like. I just bundle them up with some jute twine as a set when I'm giving them to someone. So I just kind of do this little overlapped crisscross effect to make them more presentable. So that's what it looks like. And then a little tie on the front, and you can see the little stack of 5 there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the edges are all self-finishing, sort of like an I-cord finish on the edges. And they're quite thick and washable. So Here I've made another stack of them with a different yarn, another cotton yarn, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 out of that one. And again, they're just, this one's a multicolored variegated type yarn, and you can see there the edgings on them and the little stack. So you can get that pattern on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. Okay, so that's the mug rug. Next is, let me see. Okay. The water bottle cozies. Okay, so where did I put those patterns? I have a crocheted version and a knit version is in these as well. Here is the water bottle cozy in the knit version. This one was published in 2012, as well as the crocheted one. Well, I'll show you the crocheted one too here. Okay, so I'll show you them first before we talk about them. So this one here is the knitted version. It's got a really nice pattern to it, and there's the bottom. So that's the bottom, and you can see the pattern and the top and the drawstrings. Now this here is to fit just your 500 millimeter bottle of water. I'll just take it out to show you the size I'm talking. So there's your 500 ml bottle of water. And so it just fits inside. And these are great for traveling, whether you're going for a walk or a bike ride or you're going to an event. You can just take one of these and you can tie it on your belt loop. You can tie it on your bike or wherever. I think they're great for, you know how in the summer you get condensation coming off your bottle because it's sweating or whatever. It just helps absorb, the cotton helps absorb that, and it's just easier to carry. And again, we got to cover everything with our knitting or crocheting, don't we? So anyways, so that's the knitted version. And then here is the crocheted version. And again, that's what the bottom looks like. And again, it has the drawstring handles. Okay, so for the crocheted one, at that time, I used a ball of the creme de la creme knitting worsted cotton. It was 100% cotton, 70.9 grams I used, and a 5 millimeter crochet hook, and that will make one of those. The knitted version, I used the same yarn, a ball of the creme de la creme, and a 5 millimeter double pointed needles, and that made the knitted version. So there you go, water bottle cozies. Okay, so what's next? Okay, so the next one is a yarn bowl or a yarn cozy. So I've made a knitted version and a crocheted version of these as well. And I couldn't find my knitted version, but I have the crocheted version here, but I'll pop a picture up. So this here is the yarn cozy, which is the knitted version. And I published that in 2021. and it used 2 50-gram balls of the Bernat dishcloth cotton. I used one solid color and one variegated color. I used a 6mm circular needle and 6mm double pointed needles. So I used one of the colors just for the I-cord rim, which didn't take very much yarn, so you could do it all in one color and probably get away with just the one 50-gram ball in the one color. So that is that. And the crocheted one, I have a little, here's the picture of the crocheted version. And that one I use 2 balls of the Bernat dishcloth cotton and 6mm crochet hook. And here's a little picture, not a picture, sorry, one of the yarn, this is called a yarn bowl. So it's crocheted, and you can see the bottom and the body, and then the top that has the fancy stitching and around the edging here. So again, and there's how big it is there. And let me see if here's one of my cakes from that I'm going to use. This is half of the sock yarn, that it was a 75 grams of sock yarn here, and that fits perfectly inside of there. And you have the center pull that can come up, and that can sit nicely on the table. And yeah, and there's still room, so you can put it a little bit bigger in there, and that fits nicely. So that's another nice gift idea for maybe the knitter or crocheter in your life, if your mom is a crocheter or knitter. Now these, I'm just suggesting they're Mother's Day gifts, but you can give them to anybody for any occasion, birthdays or whatever. So anyways, so that's that. Now I will be doing a free draw this month for any one of these Mother's Day gift ideas that I've been talking about here today. So there is the towel toppers, knit and crochet, the Brown Betty teacup cozies, the tea wallet, the mug rug, the water bottle cozy, knit and crochet, the yarn bowl crochet, and the yarn cozy knit. So all of those patterns that I talked about and showed you today will be up for a free draw for this month. So let me know in the comments below which one that you would like to win, and I will draw that for the next podcast and get it sent out. So let me see. What's the next thing I need to talk about? Okay. So this month was my birthday month, and it was a big birthday, and I got a few acquisitions that I'm just going to show you that are knitting related. I'm not going to talk about all the birthday things that I got, because just the things that are related to the knitting part of it. So my girlfriend, my good friend, gave me this beautiful pansy knitting bag. She had given me one for Christmas that I showed on my another podcast. I don't know which one, but it had a different design on it. I think it was black and white with some kind of paisley design on it. And this one was really special, being April and spring and flowers with the pansies on it. So I think she got this from the Mary Maxim catalog. I'm not quite sure, but anyways, it's quite a large bag, and just like the last one, it has big pockets on the side here and on this side as well. It has a big bottom on it, and it has a pocket here at the front that has a dome that opens up for a bigger pocket inside. And it also has the handles for carrying, and a nice big zipper. And inside of it, it has another pocket, but it also has some individual pouches here, different sizes, some skinny ones to put needles maybe, or pens or whatever. So there's this side with pockets, and the other side has a zippered one on this side. So this side is the zippered one. So you can get quite a bit in here, as you can see. There's lots and lots of room. So that was a really nice gift. And another friend of mine gave me a generous amount of money and also some little gift ideas, but two of them were knitting related, I find. This one here being a little journal book that I could make notes in. It's just a little blank lined journal that I could use for any type of notes in it. It's got a little bookmark as well, so, and a little strap to keep it closed. So that was nice. And she also knit me a nice dishcloth that I can use. I find, like, I do use these dishcloths, but I find myself I never get around to making any, so that was really nice to get. And you can see there's a little pattern design on it. Looks like she used some variegated colors. Yeah, so that was really nice. So those are some acquisitions that I acquired this month. And what else? So like I said, it has been my birthday, and yeah, I didn't. We went out for dinner on. We went out for dinner on my birthday. I had some visitors, and then the next week, I went to a friend's place for dinner, and so there was lots of dinners and visitors and emails and texts and messages and lots of birthday wishes. It was really nice, and I'm going to do something special in the near future for my birthday. As far as traveling goes, maybe go on a cruise or something later on. And if it's not this year, it might be February before we get going on that. But one thing that we did do yesterday is we went and ordered some e-bikes so that my husband and I could go for some nice long bike rides on the bike paths and get some exercise, fresh air, and see some scenery. So we're looking forward to those, and we should have them in a couple weeks, and maybe I'll even take some pictures and show them to you when we get them. So that was, I considered, a birthday gift to myself, from myself. Anyways, so let me see. Oh yes, I went to a fiber festival, and that was in our local town here in Peterborough, and it was a really nice festival. I actually have been a vendor in that festival a few times in the past years, and done very well at it. And now I just feel I just want to go and have fun and enjoy the day, and be a shopper and support the local vendors. So there was all kinds of lovely hand dyers there with their yarns. There was let me see, I made some notes here. It's not a very big one. There might have been, I don't know, I wouldn't say there'd be any more than 35 vendors, but it was still a good display and a nice fiber festival. I think Peterborough could do better though and make it bigger, maybe in a different location, and get more people involved. But anyways, there was the Embroiderers Guild, the Rug Cooking Guild, the Weaving Guild, basket weaving, spinning, some hand dyers, nice samples of fiber artists showing and selling their wares, and So it was nice to just spend a couple hours there looking around, talking to people. I even tried my hand out at some rug hooking. So, and there was the rug hooking, and then there was the punch needle rug hooking, which I enjoyed. So, I'm going to show some footage, or not footage. It's not really videos because it was hard to take. So I got some pictures that I'm going to show you and put in here of the Fiber Festival. So I'll put those in here now and let you watch those, and then I'll be back in a second to announce something else. Okay? Okay, so we're back from looking at all those pictures, and I hope you enjoyed seeing them. Like I said, it wasn't a big fiber festival, but what was there was good. And so now I want to announce that I am going to another fiber festival in May. And you might have heard about it, or you might not have, but it is Knit City Toronto Fiber Festival. Which is coming up May the 17th to the 19th. And it's the first time being in Toronto. It started in Vancouver, so it was called Knit City Vancouver, and then it went to Knit City Calgary and Knit City Montreal, and now Knit City Toronto. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think there's supposed to be over 100 vendors there, but the main thing and the thing I'm looking forward to going there for is to meet up with other podcasters that I watch and that I've talked to and met at Rhinebeck, New York, when I went to the New York Sheep and Wool Festival in October. So I'm hoping to meet up with them again and just to meet other podcasters that I watch and just to see all the beautiful yarns. And of course, I'd like to purchase a sweater quantities of yarn to make a new sweater just to remind me of Knit City Toronto. And so I haven't decided where I'm going to purchase that yarn yet or who from, because I don't know exactly who's there yet, but I will let you know when I get back from there and what I purchased on my next podcast. So anyways, that's about all I have to say today. I just want to thank you so much for watching me today. I know there's so many other podcasters out there that you could be watching, and I'm just thankful that you chose me to watch today. And I hope you're able to get some knitting done while watching this. I don't know how long this has been going, but I've been trying to keep them within 1 hour or less to make it doable for myself and for you watching. So anyways, if you have any questions or would like to leave a comment in the comments below, I would really like to know what you're working on these days. And if you have any questions about what I've showed you here today, or anything that you would like me to talk about in the next podcast, please leave all your ideas down there, and I do look at them all and read them all. And don't forget to tell me what you would like to win as a pattern for this month in the free draw. So anyways, I will hopefully be back again next month. I don't know when. It seems to be near the end of the month. There's no real rhyme or reason. It's just whenever I can gather up everything and have time to do it. So if you like this content that you've seen today and would like to see more from me, please like and subscribe to this channel and hit the bell to be notified for the next one when it comes out. And I will see you next time. Happy knitting. Bye-bye.